Well, a few days ago, you got to go with
aboard.
us.
This train will be leaving shortly.
Really?
It's a short line.
It's a
Remember?
very
It's the
short
S
line.
car.
We're on the S car, yeah, and we're ready to go. We're still riding.
This is an S-Line streetcar to Central Point.
We knew that. Okay, thank you. We're still riding the S car to Central Point because we're having a good deal.
Payment is required before boarding.
We have that. We bought day passes so we can go anywhere in the whole state.
Legally.
Where were we?
I don't know.
We're still riding the S car and
You
we're
may
ready.
be asked to show a valid form of payment.
We have that. Okay, where are we? Riding the S car. Okay, we're riding the S car and we're ready to go. Okay, we were doing that on Sunday, if you recall, and since it's Wednesday, this must be Wednesday's Fool, which is to say, there's a little more backstory to what happened over the weekend that really had to get cut from the show. So we're adding it to a Wednesday's Fool show here.
Yeah, there we go.
Now you may notice that we have giant teddy bears sitting on our lap.
Do not adjust your TV screen.
Do not adjust. Those are real live, honest to God, life-sized teddy bears that are almost as big as we are.
Uh-huh.
How did they get here, you may ask? Well, Lagoon is an amusement park, Pioneer Village being a part of that, and that was Sunday's show. And of course, you saw that show, and it was brilliant. So you shared it with all of your friends and you subscribed.
Right.
And now you're watching a Wednesday's Fool on a little follow-up story of how these two bears ended up following us home. It's an amusement park, and there's a Midway.
Right.
Do you remember that at the Seattle World's Fair in 1962?
Well, yeah, I knew of it.
I was fortunate enough
You
to
were lucky
attend
to be
and
there.
go up the Space Needle. And but the Midway, because they wanted their Midway to be more outstanding than a Midway. Midway, everybody has a Midway with carnival barkers, and this was the World's Fair, for hell's sake.
Yeah.
They had to, so they called it the Gay Way.
Okay.
Anyway, I enjoyed the Gay Way in Seattle in 1962.
I enjoy Seattle.
It's always nice, but there it was at the World's Fair. I digress. There's a Midway at Lagoon with all these fun games to play, and we've been going to Lagoon forever. It's the local thing to do.
And you just go there. Even the Beach Boys sing about it.
Yeah, and the Monkees shot a film up there.
That's right, they did.
And for all the people who were in the film, they hosted a free concert at the patio gardens terrace there.
Wow.
And here's a picture of that, and somewhere out in the audience is moi.
That's so cool.
Which is to say, yes, I am in the movie Headquarters.
See, you
with
were
the
lucky.
Monkees.
You grew up here in Salt Lake. I used to watch it on the 10 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Rural Utah.
So there I am in the free concert. Here's another picture of me. This is kind of a funny story. In 1968, they opened the Opera House Square.
Oh,
do you remember that?
I do.
Still there.
It's still there.
But it was a big deal for 1968 when they opened it.
Right.
And so they were going to advertise the 4th of July, because that was really sort of the major kickoff of the Opera House Square, and it's the biggest day in Lagoon, every year, the 4th of July, the fireworks, the whole thing.
Right.
So they wanted David to bring his Model T up, and they were going to shoot some publicity photos to use in the newspaper. And so I went with him because, it's fun. Ride around Model T, hang out with my brother, and go to Lagoon. How does it get any better than that? It doesn't get better than that. That was awesome.
Right.
So there I am watching him take pictures of the Model T, and the photographer comes over to me and he says, "Do you want to be in the newspaper?"
Oh my!
And I said,
Transfer to
"Sure."
Yeah, sure.
So he sticks a straw hat on my head, grabs these two girls that are selling popcorn at the popcorn wagon there on Opera House Square, parks the three of us at a table, stages this little picture. The next day I open up the Tribune, and there's like this quarter-page photo of me and these two girls drinking soda in Opera House Square, and a big story about how the 4th of July. And later on, when the picture of David in the Model T, it's this little small, he was so pissed off.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, and that newspaper probably was at our house because my parents subscribed to the Tribune.
Well, everybody took the Tribune.
That's
That was
right.
back when people read newspapers.
Oh yeah. Well, and they made me read the newspaper. Yeah, I hated reading the newspaper.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that still doesn't answer the question where these bears came
Right,
from.
I mean,
And clearly they came from the Midway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a couple of years before the Opera House Square
Central
incident,
21st South.
I was up there kind of early in the year, and here's this game called Rebound, and all you have to do is throw a wiffle ball against
Please
a picture
exit here.
of a cartoon
This is the
character
last
and have
stop
it
on
bounce
this
off
route.
their face and go into a bin. And if the
Ah.
ball stays in the bin, you win this huge major prize.
Oh,
And it looks really simple, and the kid running the game, he throws the ball over there, goes right in the bin.
Yeah.
I'm going, piece
Thank
of
you
cake.
for writing UTA.
I lay down $1, I buy 2 balls. One goes like clear out of the park, you know, and the other one bounces all over the place and ends up on the floor somewhere.
Oh.
And it's like, hey, this is actually hard.
Yeah, can't do it. Yeah.
Well, $5 later, I wasn't winning
Welcome
the major
aboard.
prize.
This train
And the
will be
major
leaving
prize was
shortly.
something I really wanted. It was a 3-foot-tall soda bottle.
Well, who didn't want one of those?
Who wouldn't want one of
Gosh,
those?
They were like a status symbol.
It
if you
was
had one
so
of those.
cool to have one of those, you know, and they were
Right.
so neat looking. And they
Right.
had Coca-Cola, they had 7-Up, they had Dr. Pepper, and I wanted them all. And then they also had a great big, like 2-foot-tall jar of Skippy peanut butter and a 4-foot banana with Chiquita banana on it, which I also wanted.
Wow.
And I figured I'm going to win them all because this game's a piece of cake. Well,
Yeah.
$5 later, I haven't even come close.
You go home with your fingers in your pocket.
And I'm watching this kid, and he's just doing it over and over, and he's taunting me. You know, he's typical carny,
Yeah.
and he's taunting me.
Oh, come
It's
on.
a piece of cake. They talk like
Yeah.
that. It's a piece of cake. Any idiot can do it. What are you, an idiot? So then I give him another $1, you know, and I lose that. And he's ha ha ha. Well, so now I want to get even with the kid, and
Yeah.
I want to win the stuff.
Oh, kidding.
So I go home and I built a copy of the game. I got some plywood and some 1x4 and some 1x2, and I even painted a cartoon character on it.
Oh, man.
And I sat there for hours and hours, day after day, practicing
Practicing
and
how to do
practicing
that
and
just
practicing.
right.
And I figured I'd gotten the angles right. I really studied the game to figure out how it worked.
Oh, my.
Practiced and practiced and practiced for like 3 months.
Oh, dear.
And then later in the season, it's, you know, some other friends are going to Lagoon. I don't have a driver's license. I can't go up there. But some other friends are going to Lagoon. Yeah, I want to go. There's a game I want to play on the Midway.
And they're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. No, trust me, I'm going to kill this game. So I go up there, and here's a kid. Yeah, you think you got it in you, don't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I plop down like a 5.
Oh, my.
And back then, that's like 10 balls.
Yeah, well, or more.
I won every soda bottle, the banana, and the jar of Skippy peanut butter, and I had duplicates on 2 of the soda
Oh,
bottles, which I
boy.
gave to my friends.
Why didn't I know you back then?
Yeah. No. So management comes over and they say, you are banned from ever playing the game ever again. You worked here, didn't
Bummer.
you? I said, no,
Yeah.
I never worked here. They said, well, you've practiced the game. I said, yeah, I went and I built one.
Yeah.
Well, that's cheating. Well, I don't see a rule. It says you can't go
you
do
can't
that.
go home and build the game.
Well, this is our amusement park, and if we don't want you to play the game, we can deny service to anyone, including you. You are banned from ever playing the game ever
That's
again.
terrible.
I was like, okay, I won everything
Yeah,
I wanted
you got what you were
anyway.
after.
I got even with the kid that talks like that.
Uh-huh.
You know, score.
Right.
So here we are up there shooting Pioneer Village last
Right.
night, right? Mm-hmm. And there's the rebound game.
And then he gets this look on his face.
And the prize is now these full-size, like 5-foot-tall teddy bears.
Yeah, like anybody can win those, you know.
And all
Good
kinds of
luck.
people are trying, and the ball is hitting the wall and going on the floor and
Yeah.
rolling out onto the
Grown
Midway.
man.
And I'm going, I remember that. That's what happens if you don't know what you're doing. But I haven't played the game in 50 years. I haven't, you know, I'm a little rusty. I'm out of practice, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking, you know, maybe it's like a
give it a
bicycle.
try.
Maybe you never
Yeah.
forget, right?
Yep.
Well, and they had forgotten that they banned me from playing the game
Yeah.
50 years before.
Yeah, I think you've changed a little since then.
Yeah, they didn't recognize me,
the picture
oddly,
was a little out of
oddly
date on
enough.
the
And
wall.
the kid was, you know, like what, 20 that's running the game.
Oh,
So, you
yeah.
know, he was 30 years missing there.
Yeah, he
So he didn't know
had
anything
no
about
idea.
it. Anyway, we lay down a 5,
Mm-hmm.
which these days only buys you 3 balls. The first
Inflation.
ball just barely missed.
Yeah.
Just barely.
And
Almost
I'm holding
went
my
in.
breath because I'm thinking this isn't going to go well.
And the next 2 went right in. And I'm just going 50 years, and I
50
can
years.
still nail it. I
Yeah,
can still
without
nail
practicing.
it.
Now this time they couldn't accuse you of practicing.
They
because
couldn't
you
accuse me of
had
practicing.
not been
I was very upfront about it,
Yeah.
and I told the kid running the game exactly how I was able to do it, because
Yeah.
his jaw was hanging out, and his
Right.
chin was on the ground, and
Yeah.
all the other people who'd been playing the game, losing
Yeah.
their money, were going, "How did you do that?" And so they
Yeah.
listened, patiently to my little story about. That's amazing.
I bet there's a run on Lowe's at plywood today.
You bet everybody's home building a copy of Rebound so that they can
Yeah.
practice. But trust me, it ain't
Welcome
easy.
aboard.
It takes a
This
lot
train
of
will be leaving
practice.
Yeah.
shortly.
And we could have tried to buy more balls and win more bears, but what the hell? We
got-
proved the point.
Yeah.
We proved the point. Moving on.
It would have been really awful to have to rent a U-Haul to bring our bears.
Yeah,
This is an
who wants to
S-line
bankrupt the
streetcar
game? They
to
might get
Fairmont
rid of the
stop
game, and
in
what fun is
Sugar
that?
It's more fun just to watch out, watch them as we walk out. Their jaws are hanging on the floor.
It was so very,
It was
very,
fun.
very cool.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd share that story with you as a Wednesday's Fool addendum to last
Right.
week's show on
Payment
Lagoon.
We can be
required
foolish.
before-
And we can be very, very foolish.
But it's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're not sure how you found this lovely addendum to last week's show on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring.
Hope not.
You
And we
may
will
be
see you
asked
here
to
again
show
in just a couple of days on
Right.
Sunday with this week's show, which is the Rat Fink reunion
Right.
in Mantown.
Ah,
So we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
bye.